Now that we have our cupboard modeled, let's go ahead and clean it up. And we'll start by naming some of these things in the outliner. So I'll click on the outliner. Start with the body, CUPBOARD cupboard, and I'll give it an underscore of body. Control C, copy that. Helps to name some of these when you have a common prefix to everything. Let's call that cupboard top. Then we get into these hinges. Cupboard hinge 1. Just name these 2 through 4. I got the cupboard doorknob. I'll just call it cupboard, and then knob 01 and 02. Is it imperative to give things a prefix like cupboard or something like that? Not all the time. I'm now going to select Control and G as in golf. It's going to put it all under that top level group node, and I'll just call it the cupboard. You know, you could create prefixes that are just CUP, you know, something basic like that. You ultimately don't even need that if everything has a name underneath it and it's underneath this called cupboard. I leave that to you. What it should have is some type of naming convention that makes sense. That's the most important thing. So a few more things to do. I'm going to go into the channel box, and I'm going to go under each of these objects, and you'll notice that in our inputs, for every modeling command that we've done to this, splits, extrusions, deletions, we have an input node. That's construction history, and that needs to be deleted. So edit, delete by type, and history, and that has a hotkey as well, Alt and Shift and D. Just cleans it up. This is something that before you submit all your work, you want to make sure you delete your history unless your instructor specifies otherwise. You want to do this every so often and then save out another working iteration of your work. You can go ahead and just select everything, edit, delete by type, history. You got to make sure though that your input node when you create these things, you know, for this it was the polysphere, for this actually for this first one we have the polycylinder. You'll lose that as well, so just keep that in mind. Sometimes you want to hang on to that if you're making adjustments, you want to add subdivisions, you want to alter the radius or something like that. But we can just take all of these, and again that was selecting, shift, selecting, and then edit, delete by type, history. And that should have cleaned everything up. So once you get this all squared away, make sure you save out another version. You'll notice that we have working iterations. So in one last video, I'm going to demonstrate how you might create a dresser and how you might create some drawers to go with it that are additional objects.